In this video, we're going to discuss 4 reasons why Californians may regret moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Whether you're thinking about moving next month or next year, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or if you want any personalized advice, don't hesitate to reach out. Now, let's get into the video. The first reason why someone from California might regret moving to Tennessee is because the affordability has decreased significantly in the last, say, 9 to 12 months. And a lot of that is from the boom in which when we had very little inventory. So people were just coming, and because the prices seemed so cheap to them initially, they were paying $25,000 and $50,000 over list price. And so our prices just quickly kept jumping in value, and they sort of sat there for a little bit. And now that we have so much more inventory, some of the prices are coming down just a little bit, but not drastically. Our prices are still fairly high overall, comparatively speaking, to the rest of Tennessee and some of the more rural areas. Even though the affordability has decreased quite a bit, our prices are still overall less expensive to the prices in California. And the cost of living overall is quite a bit lower than California, obviously. Still gonna cost you quite a bit less to move here, but prices aren't what they used to be. They have increased. The second reason why Californians might regret moving to Tennessee is the weather. I mean, obviously, California has a much more consistent average temperature. Tennessee is a little bit bipolar in its weather. It's up and down all the time. You know, here we are in October, and one day it's 79 degrees and a week later it's 32 degrees. So we do have extreme highs and lows, and we are also affected by the north and south weather extremities that push cold fronts and warm fronts in either directions. I will say that the humidity in Tennessee can work to your favor or to your distaste. It just depends on the weather that's with it. When you go to California, sometimes the extreme heat and the lack of humidity really dries you out overall. So it is nice to have some humidity, but we will sometimes also have extreme humidity. And if you're coming from California, you might not be used to that. The best weather times here are spring and fall. And so when the summer is stretched out and we have 80 and 90 degree temps into September, and you're like a golfer or a tennis player or something to that effect, you may not have that wonderful spring and fall weather that you're chasing. You know, when you're baking cookies and you go to check them and that wall of heat sort of hits your face when you open them? That's what it can feel like. The third reason why Californians might regret moving here is that Tennessee is a red state. So the political surroundings of Chattanooga differ from that of California in that we have a more conservative state, and overall the population that is here typically follows that same political affiliation. This is ever changing, and we do have a little bit of everybody and a mix. We are kind of a melting pot here, and it's changed over time significantly, but I just like to touch on it a little bit in case that is something that you're super passionate about, so that you consider it before making the move. The downtown tends to be a little bit more progressive, so you may have a little bit more of the blue. The rural areas, you're probably gonna have people that lean a little bit more conservative. Just something to keep in mind when you're considering moving to Tennessee. Reason number 4 that people might regret moving here is that Chattanooga does face a lot of challenges. So some of the issues that you'll face when moving here would be traffic. There is definitely an uptick of traffic with all of the people that are moving here and the extreme growth that we've experienced over the last 5 or 10 years. Traffic is definitely something to take into consideration. And if you are perhaps trying to escape California because of the high level of homelessness or the traffic or the crime overall or just anything revolving around that, that's gonna be everywhere. That's gonna be a nation as a whole that we're experiencing. So you're not gonna escape it by moving here. I wish I could say that you are, but you really aren't. May not be on the same level, but it's definitely not something that you're gonna escape altogether. If you already know that you're gonna make the move here, or that you have committed to make the move here and you're concerned now what I've said about traffic, let's also just discuss the fact that it may not take you 2 hours to get through a traffic jam. It may be 30 to 45 minutes. I have been in California and stuck on a freeway for an extreme amount of time. So I don't want you to think that it is to that extreme, but we do have, you know, quite a bit of congestedness and traffic overall. But for someone that's lived here almost 20 years, it does definitely seem to be an uptick in traffic. Despite everything that we've discussed, Chattanooga is still my favorite city, and I absolutely love living here. If you've learned something new, or if you have any additional questions, please leave a comment or reach out. We're always here to help if you're considering making a move to Chattanooga. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.